Hello and welcome to another macro video. We've got two new macros today, one relating to proper nouns, and the idea there is that having got your query list, you may have seen the new version where we get lots of the words linked to each other so you can see which are the words that go together. We want to take some of these items and put them into our FRedit list in order to change them. So if Hernandez with an A accent, A acute, is the one we want, then we want to create an item in the FRedit list. We have had already a hyphenation to FRedit list, so let's bring in a FRedit list for the moment. There we go. So hyphenation to FRedit list. Here's our hyphenation list. So we decide that bitstream there, what we want is suppose we want the hyphenated version. So we click in the hyphenated version and we run a hyphenation to FRedit. And so in the FRedit list there we get two items added, one for the two-word version to hyphenated and one for the one-word version to hyphenated. So that's the hyphenation to FRedit list. The new one is called proper nounalize to FRedit. So the same idea, we decide that Hernandez with the accent is the one we want, click in there and we run the proper nounalize one. There it is. So you've got the item ready there for the non-accented to be changed into the accented. And also with this, if there is more than one, when you click in Jose with the E acute, it will look above and below to see if it can find two. So let's see if that works. Yes, it does. Okay, so we've got the two wrong versions, each changed to the correct version. Yep, that's it. Okay, so right, so move to the second one. We've got need a bit of text to play with, to put some comments in, which is over here somewhere. There it is. That'll do. Right, so we want to add some comments. You may have seen in the past we've had one called comment add menu, but unfortunately that was very difficult to set up, very techy. Very versatile, but quite difficult, and I imagine that not very many people have actually latched onto that one. So I decided to make an easier one called comment adder. It's the same sort of idea as that if you want to make a comment on that bit of text there, you run the macro and it throws up a list of the comments, and these are comments that you have set up. You choose what comments you want, so it's entirely up to you. And then you select from that list which one you want and tell it to insert that one. So if I just got a picture of that here where it's a bit clearer, a bit bigger so you can see it. So as you can see there we've got 7 comments, and each one has a letter at the beginning, and that's the letter that you type in, or it could be a number if you wanted to, and then that's the comment, or at least that's the beginning of the comment. The comments can be longer than they appear on the menu there, but it just shows you which one you want to select, but you'll get used to remembering which letter it is you want for your comment, and then you type in the letter and off you go. Right, so let's try it out. Suppose that we want this brown comment, and we decide that citation is not on the list. So we run the macro, so it's not on the references list, that's L, type that in, return. So there's our comment saying that Brown 2014 is not on the references list. Now if we look at the, where are we, the text, well if we look at the macro itself, then the beginning of the comment adder macro has a set of lines here which are the comments that you've typed in, but it's not very clear on there, so let's have a larger version of it, which should be here. Okay, here it comes. Right, so there we are. So what we had for that first comment there was a couple of square brackets there, and that's saying that's where I want you to type in the bit of text that was selected. So if we look at the text here, I'd selected Brown 2014, ran the macro, and Brown 2014 is there in the text. Now if I do Jones and run the macro, if I use capital L, that's the next comment on my list there. So what that's done is, first of all, it's typed in the Jones 2010, that's fine, but then it types it in again here. So it's saying that is not on the list, but Jones 2010 is. Well, that's the same thing. No, what's the point? The point is that it was, I don't know, 2011. So 2011 was on the list, but not 2010. So, but the cursor had been put ready to for me to delete and type in there. So if we look at the text that's in the macro itself, this second one with a capital L, there's the square bracket for the first time you quote the bit that's selected. There's the second one, and next to it is a vertical bar, and so that is saying this is where I want you to put the text, put the cursor ready to type in some text. So there's another one down here, look. Will the readers know what such and such refers to? So the idea is it quotes the selected part of the text, and then it types in, it puts the cursor there between those quotes so that you can then type in the bit you want. Okay, so the point of this is that when those comments are inserted in the text there, you can use the macro that pulls out all those comments into a list ready to be a queries list for the author, and the text is all there and it's sort of ready to go. So what other things do we need to look at? Well, I've used single quotes, and I've put single quotes in those comments in the macro. But you don't have to change it in the macro, in the text in the macro. You can use single quotes, but up here it says use double quotes equals false. So if you change that to use double quotes equals true, then it will use double quotes in the text it types into the comment box there. Now you want to type in your own comments and maybe change some of these. So what I've done here, you've got to keep these first two lines, or it's helpful to keep these first two lines the same in the macro. But to add an extra line, if you copy that line, the dummy line, it's ready for you to type in your own text. So you can type, copy that down. You can type in the letter that is you're going to type in to pull up this comment, and then type in whatever the comment is there that you want for your own use. And the only other thing that's perhaps worth mentioning is that just to save you, there's this line here which says my default select equals sentence or word, and all that means is that if it's set to word, that just means that when you click on a word, then you don't have to actually select it. The macro will select it for you. So it's selected the word encouraging, and you type in whatever your comment is. So it's selected that word. I think that's about it. So if that's helpful, good. And if you have any queries, then do email me. Okay, thanks for watching. Bye now.